Hey folks, Unboxer of Worlds here, and guess what we're playing today? That's right, Resident Evil. The original Resident Evil. I'm going to take you on a walkthrough here of this first game in my favorite survival horror franchise for the 30th anniversary, and we're going to try and get through this game in under 3 hours so we can unlock Jill's unlimited Ingram submachine gun. This is the PC version, by the way. But I'm going to try and include as much of the story and files as I can to give you a true and relatively complete Resident Evil experience.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission.
This is the uncut intro, by the way.
Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. Bravo Team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
Look, Chris!
This uncut intro only really appeared in the Japanese versions of the game, I believe the Saturn version and this PC version. It was not, believe it or not, in the director's cut version we received.
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there.
This is also in color as
However,
opposed to the
we soon
original,
discovered
which was
why.
black and white, the original cut version.
Hey! Come here!
Is he calling to the dog?
Joseph!
Some would call this cheesy, but I consider it pure nostalgia.
No! Don't go!
Okay, maybe it is cheesy. And we'll just stand here and wait for the dogs.
Jill, run for that house!
Here's something
Chris
you wouldn't see in the edited version. Chris smoking.
Jill Valentine. Barry Burton.
My favorite Resident Evil character right there.
Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker.
Look at that dye job.
Resident Evil.
All right, folks, get ready for some astounding voice acting circa 1996. I love it.
What is this?
Wow, what a mansion!
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
What is it?
Maybe it's Chris. Now, Jill, can you go?
I'm going with you. Chris is our old partner, you know.
Okay, let me handle this.
All right, so you can see this doesn't look so bad for a 30-year-old game.
Stay alert!
That's because I believe this is using the classic Rebirth mod, which does a fantastic job of sharpening all the visuals and bringing them up to a more modern standard while still respecting the creator's original intent. It looks sharp and clear, but it still looks just like the original Resident Evil from 1996.
What? What is this?
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
Hey, what are you examining, Barry? How long does it take? Classic door animations. Eventually I will skip these for time because I am trying to beat this game in under 3 hours. And we're about to get our first big zombie appearance of this classic game. All right, Barry, take care of business.
Barry?
What is it?
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this. What is it?
Kenneth was killed too. Maybe by this creature. Anyway, let's report this to Wesker.
I'm going to try and keep this playthrough pretty streamlined, so there will be some rooms and whatnot that I don't explore.
Wesker! Help me look for him, Jill. And don't leave this hall for the time being.
And here's one example of streamlining. Look how fast we examine this hall and get to the next cutscene.
Find anything, Jill?
Nothing. What is this all about? I can't figure it out at all.
Beats me, too.
Now it's Wesker's time to disappear. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it can't be helped. Let's search for him separately. I'll check the dining room again.
Okay, I'll try the door on the opposite side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could get into trouble if we get lost. We should start from the first floor, okay? And Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Thanks. Maybe I'll need it.
There's an interesting line from Barry here. Listen to his own intonation.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. This time I'll be there.
When he says, "This time I'll be there," the way he says it, it almost insinuates there was a past incident when he wasn't there. You know, I could be reading too much into it. By the way, don't try to go outside. This'll happen. We're trapped, folks. The only way out is through. But anyway, as I was saying, you know, it almost insinuates that there was some past incident where Barry proved to be a little bit unreliable. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but will that come into play later? We'll see. So you're going to check Kenneth twice, and you'll get 2 sets of handgun bullets. Again, I'm going to try and beat this game in under 3 hours. And I believe in doing so, we'll unlock the Ingram, which is a little machine gun for Jill, which was added exclusively to the PC version of the game. I don't think it's in the PlayStation original. It isn't. You get the rocket launcher in that version. I think in the PC version, you have to not save to get the rocket launcher. I will be saving, folks. I'm also going to skip the room in the corner there because there's nothing really in there that we need, and I'm not going to move the ladder to pick up the map. the classic dog scare, which they subverted in the Resident Evil 1 remake. They used your expectations against you. There's a bathroom in there, but we don't need it, so I'm going to skip it. And we're going to just zip right on through. You'll also notice in this PC version, there's no ink ribbons. So we don't need those to save, which you did need in the original. So an interesting decision they had to take those out. It'll certainly make this playthrough easier. Uh-oh. So just don't freak out. If we were Chris, we would have to freak out. But Jill has some support coming. His name is Barry.
Hey, what's going on?
Jill? Is that you, Jill? What happened?
Barry, help me, please. The door won't open. Quick!
Stay away from the door, Jill. I'm gonna kick this door down. Hurry! This way!
Get ready for a classic Resident Evil line that has echoed for 30 years in the pop
That
culture.
was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
There
You're
it is.
right. Barry, thanks for saving my life. But Barry, didn't you say you're going back to the dining room to do some research? Why on earth are you here?
I just had something I wanted to check. Now, let's get back to searching for the lost captain and Chris, shall we?
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah. All right. We're going to have our first encounter with a zombie through this door. Be careful, because sometimes when they drop, they get back up. You notice that pool of blood that appeared. That indicates that they're really dead. And luckily in this game, when they are dead, they really are dead. Unlike the remake, where sometimes they might come back as Crimson Heads. But luckily none of that this time through. In replaying this classic, I found that it's a surprisingly easy game. A lot of them got much harder after this, but everything in this one, from the combat to the puzzles to the amount of weapons, ammo, and healing items you get, is very forgiving. It's a great starting place. Those green herbs will heal you, so it's a good idea to stockpile them. And here's our first save room, or safe room, of the game, where you can save your game and store items in the item box. Item management is a big part of the Resident Evil franchise, and I think it kind of reached its zenith in Resident Evil 4 with that particular setup, but that's a story for another time. I'm going to combine these clips together to save some inventory space. Reload the gun, and I'm going to save our game. I'm going to save a lot, folks. There's no shame in saving. I'd rather not, get killed by some stupid encounter and have to start over again. Or this is the PC version I'm playing. There's always a chance it could crash. I also have a playthrough of Resident Evil 4 Remake in assisted mode to show you how to get the wolf tail and some other goodies. I'll put a link up. You should check that one out if you're into a more recent Resident Evil game. And by the way, if you enjoy my walkthroughs, even though my usual videos are about unboxings and reviews, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and join me on my video of fun content creation in the big old 2026. So we've encountered a locked door, the first of many. But trust me, we will get the keys. So for this release of Resident Evil, they added a couple quality of life features. There's a tactical reload, like the later Resident Evil games, where you can kind of just tap a button and reload your gun without having to go to the item screen. You can still go to the item screen if you want. They also added a quick turnaround, which is very helpful. We're about to get to a file. I'm not going to get all the files, but I will get some of them, you know, while keeping time into account. Botany book about medicinal herbs. As you may know, there are many plants that have medicinal effects. Since ancient times, humans have been healing wounds and diseases using various plants, and this book will talk about it. Each herb has different colors and different effects as medical plants. The green one recovers health, the blue one gets rid of poison, and the red one you can combine with others to amplify their effects. Get used to combining herbs, folks. It's kind of the bread and butter of these early Resident Evil games, and even the newer ones. We're lucky Jill has a lockpick, because she can get into certain drawers and things that Chris can't. Chris has to find lockpicks, making his game, in many ways, that's just one of them, but his is definitely the more difficult playthrough of Resident Evil. See, I shot that dude's arm off.
Barry!
Jill, what's going on? Any clues?
No, but something's wrong with this house.
You think?
Whoa. This hall is dangerous.
Ironic, this is the
Maybe
safest hall in the whole
secure
game.
our escape route first. There must be a back door somewhere. Let's try to find it first, shall we?
Okay, let's separate again.
Just a moment. I found something.
What is it?
It's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things. Better take it with you.
But how about you, Barry?
I have this.
Thank you. I'll take this then.
They're all so polite to each other. So we got some acid rounds, but no grenade gun. Why don't we change that, folks? I like how in this original Resident Evil, a lot of the answers to questions or solutions to puzzles are right next door. You know, you don't have to traipse around the whole mansion looking for the weapon for the ammo Barry just gave you. It's out here chilling with our comrade Forrest, who's been pecked to death by crows. Great detail there. In the director's cut version, he actually gets up and comes after you. He doesn't in this version, thankfully. So, quick turn around, run to the door, try not to get... Okay, try not to do what I just did. And get out of there before the crows ruin your day. So we do have that grenade gun now. Grenade launcher, bazooka, whatever you like to call it. I do like the auto-aim feature in this game. It makes it easier. And also tapping the auto-aim after you knock a zombie down. If the gun swivels back to their fallen corpse, it'll kind of indicate to you that they're not really dead. There's that tactical reload. So we're going to push this this big statue, and we're going to then get behind it and push it over the side. My furnace kicked on. If you can hear that in the background, I apologize. Yeah, sometimes these fixed camera angles can be a little bit tricky, but I personally love them in these old school Resident Evil games. They just felt so next gen at the time, like so 3D, like I was really in a 3D world. And while a lot of people have their issues with them in 2026, I still think they have their place. If I was to make a survival horror game, I would probably use fixed camera angles. Dodging zombies there, we're in another safe room. If you check this out, there are serums on that shelf. Remember that, because that will become relevant. Running low on ammo. I'm going to save my game. The tank controls were like... they take some time to get used to, and when I was a kid playing this game for the first time, they did kind of present a barrier to entry, and it took me a long time to master them. But once I mastered them, you know, it's like riding a bike, you never forget, and when I started playing this particular game again, all these years later for this video, these controls came back to me instantly. And, you know, once you get the muscle memory down, to me at least, it feels no different than a modern control scheme. And it works really well with these fixed camera angles. It helps keep you oriented every time the camera changes. Alright, so there is a plant in this room. Don't get near it. It's not a happy plant. Remember we picked up this herbicide in the save room? Well, we're going to use it here. Sorry, plant. It had to be done. So once it drops, this plant is safe to walk past. And you're going to notice on the side of it, there's a whole rack of herbs, green herbs and red herbs. And we're going to pick up some here. We don't need to use them right now, but we're going to kind of stockpile them. You know, we'll pick up one of the greens, we'll pick up one of the reds, and we're going to combine them because a green and red herb will restore 100% of your health no matter how injured you are. And that's really invaluable in this game. You know, I used to pick up all the herbs I could get when I played this game, but now that I know it a lot better, as I said, it's a very forgiving entryway to the Resident Evil sagas, and they give you plenty of herbs and they're scattered all over the place. So I'd say you should definitely stockpile some herbs and some mixed herbs in your item box. But you probably don't really need to keep more than one in your inventory at a time. You know, as long as you're saving regularly. Alright, we got the shotgun here. Look at that. Pixelated gore. Alright, we're about to see one of the most famous files in all of Resident Evil, and I'll try and read it for you. I will need to make some inventory space at some point. Where were we? The Keeper's Diary, May 9th, 1998. At night, we played poker with Scott the guard, Elias, and Steve the researcher. Steve was really lucky, he was cheating. Today, a high-ranking researcher asked me to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. They told me to feed them live food. When I threw in a pig, they were playing with it, tearing off its legs. Around 5 o'clock on May 11th, Scott came in. He woke me up. He was wearing a protection suit that looked like a space suit. He told me to put one on as well. I've been wearing this annoying spacesuit since yesterday. My skin grows musty and feels very itchy. By way of revenge, I didn't feed those dogs tonight. I feel better. I went to the medical room because my back was all swollen and feels itchy. They put a big bandage on my back, and the doctor told me I don't need to wear the spacesuit anymore. Guess I can sleep well tonight. When I woke up this morning, I had another blister on my foot. It was annoying, and I ended up dragging my foot as I went to the dog's pens. They've been quiet this morning, which is unusual, and I found some of them had escaped. Even though I didn't feel well, I decided to go see Nancy. It's my first day off in some time, but I was stopped by a guard on the way out. They said the company has ordered that no one leave the grounds. I can't even make a phone call. What kind of joke is this? I heard a researcher who tried to escape from this mansion was shot last night. My entire body feels burning and itchy at night. When I was scratching the swelling, fever gone, but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy, Scott came, ugly face, so killed him. Tasty. Itchy. Tasty. I guess that's the keeper there that we just blasted. Making a little room, gonna reload this gun. Oh. My recording just stopped on its own. I restarted it. I'm very glad I noticed that. That could have been a problem. Good thing I was paying attention. I can't carry that. So, I'll make room. Again, you don't usually want to waste ammo in a Resident Evil game, but like I said, this first one is pretty forgiving. I believe the director's cut version on the PlayStation is a little bit harder in its arranged mode. Yeah, I definitely need to get back to an item box. I probably should have thought about this a little bit harder, getting my items in order. You know, so here we're finding another hallmark of the Resident Evil series, which is backtracking. Sometimes you do it because you have to, like I'm doing now to make room. Sometimes it's actually built into the game itself. Revisiting previous areas, excuse me. Ironic, because I'm revisiting a previous era right now with this gem from 1996. You know, as primitive as this game is, and there's my ammo, as rudimentary as the graphics are, there is something that's kind of creepy about it, especially if you're playing it alone at night. Like, in the old school style of these sounds and graphics kind of add to that a little bit. It's not the scariest Resident Evil. That might actually go to the remake of this game. Or it might go to Resident Evil 7, especially if you play it in virtual reality, which I did. That was the most terrifying gaming experience I think I've ever had, was going through RE7 Biohazard in VR. Remember that statue we pushed? Well, it broke apart and inside was a blue jewel. I'll use that jewel right now. It reads, "Some tigers have a red eye and a blue eye." Well, let's give it back that blue eye. So we got the Wind Crest. The first of 4 crests that we're going to have to find to leave the mansion and access the next area. So we are getting closer to making some progress here. All right, this is an iconic section here. You see this fine grand piano? A fine grand piano. Well, we're going to play on that piano as Jill. Chris can't do it without Rebecca's help, and Rebecca needs practice, but Jill, like yours truly, is a pianist. So this part where she plays the Moonlight Sonata is a really iconic little moment from this old school Resident Evil. it opens the secret door. It's funny, that song has been around for ages, yet there's generations of people in this day and age who associate it first with Resident Evil. And I remember after playing this, I learned that song on the piano, and I played it anytime I saw a public piano, like at a fair or a place like that. All right. Finally, some much needed ammo. You'll also notice there's a broken shotgun there. We don't need it, but in Chris's campaign, you're going to want to get that, because that's the only way you can get the actual shotgun without getting crushed by that ceiling, because Chris's campaign doesn't have Barry to bail you out. And Chris also wouldn't have been able to get that shotgun shells from the... take care of this guy. Boom! Chris wouldn't have been able to open up that drawer to get those shotgun shells without finding a single-use small lock. So we can store the wind crest. We don't need it yet. And by the way, folks, I know these fixed camera angles and these tank controls are not for everyone, especially people who maybe didn't grow up with these games when they initially released. And, you know, I'd encourage you to try and play them and try and give it a shot and get used to it, because it is really rewarding to be able to play these games yourself. But if that's not your cup of tea and you just want to watch videos of them on YouTube or TikTok and experience the game that way, that's relevant too. Enjoy these games however you're going to enjoy them. Because experiencing Resident Evil through a video or a Let's Play is far better than never experiencing it at all. And we did a little switcheroo with those emblems there. Coming back out. And now we're going to put the gold emblem in the spot where the wooden emblem was. Which is going to give us access to the key hiding behind this grandfather clock. By the way, folks, as I said before, I hope you'll consider subscribing to Unboxer of Worlds. You know, I've got a couple other game walkthroughs, but maybe you'll also enjoy my unboxing videos and my review videos. And occasional appearances from my puppy, a lovely little sausage dog. And please let me know in the comments what game you'd like to see me go through next. The howling of an animal can be heard on and off. I love these little atmospheric touches. All right, folks, get ready for some more incredible voice acting.
Richard, what happened?
Oh, Jill, this house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
Oh,
You're wounded. What kind of demon attacked you?
It was a huge snake and also poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
There is serum. Oh no, I should have brought some with me.
No problem. I'll go and get it.
Thanks.
remember when I told you remember that serum, folks? Well, that's what we got to get, and I'll throw up the map to show you where it is in case you forgot. But I'm not going to get it right now. I'm going to open some of these doors that I couldn't get into before. Because newsflash, you can't save Richard. In the remake, you can kind of delay what happens to him, which is interesting. But his fate is sealed regardless. So I'm going to move these statues to cover up these floor vents, because if you press the button without covering the vents, there's going to be poisonous gas. No one wants to deal with that. And we're going to pick up the second of 4 crests. Going to make a little room in our inventory. Don't need the crests just yet. And you know, I think we've got enough ammo that we could put the pistol away for a little while. Ready for another file? Researcher's will. It's a letter. On the top of the letter, it's missing. Yes, I'm infected. I did everything I could, but I could only delay the progress by a few days. The most frightening thing is, within the hour, I will have entered my eternal sleep. I hope you'll understand my decision. I kind of truncated that one a little bit. Hopefully it's still kind of got the point across. Alright, so we're going to push this switch. We're going to drain the fish tank so that we can get behind it and move it. And we get some ammo for the grenade gun. I guess you can only have 6 rounds at a time in there for some reason. So Jill has to pick up the lighter. Chris starts with the lighter, if I'm not mistaken. So he gets that little advantage, but believe me, it's not as good an advantage as Jill's lockpick. I'm making a new save file, just because I want to make sure that my recording software doesn't crash, and that I don't, like, play on blindly without recording it. So at least I'll have a place to go back to, and not have to start the whole game over for this recording. There we go, folks, the serum. That's a good idea, especially if you're kind of new to this game, to consider bringing some ammo and extra healing items with you here, because we're about to get our first pretty challenging boss encounter.
Here's the serum. Richard, hold on. I'll give you a shot now.
Jill, Here's my radio. You should keep it. I'm...
Yes, you are, Richard.
No! Richard!
Jill,
Or not.
be careful.
I knew he was there. Played this game enough to remember things like that. So with that lighter, we're going to come into this dark room and light this... Whoa, excuse me. Light this candle. Candelabra. And we get some acid rounds. And when a key is useless, you get the option to discard it, and you always should in this game to make room. There's no benefit to keeping a key that you no longer need. Though I thought it would have always been cool if they made some kind of a trophy or achievement if you kept all the keys anyway. Maybe one day. Uh-oh. So I believe this snake is known as Yawn. Making uncomfortable snake noises. See, I'm getting bit all over the place. And I'm poisoned. Wonderful. I'm out of ammo. Alright. The music has faded. The snake is taking a hike, so we've survived this one. But I am very poisoned. And if you don't heal your poisoning quick, I'm pretty sure it'll eventually kill you in this game. But hey, we got the third crest. And some ammo. And by the way, if you didn't realize you were poisoned, Jill's gonna let you know.
Am I poisoned? Give me the serum. Barry. Barry?
The cool thing is, even if you were low on health, after this little cutscene where Barry gives you the serum, your health, not only will your poison be cured, but your health should be completely restored. See? So we're just about ready to leave the mansion. But don't worry, we'll be back. If I ever figure out where I'm going. Now there is a little room tucked into the corner of the main hall here. The only reason I'm going in here is A, to continue, you know, making use of that armor key so I can discard it eventually, but also because right behind the zombie, there's a desk with some ammo in it for the shotgun. There's also a handgun clip that you might have seen a moment ago you can grab if you need. There's a doorway at the end of the hall behind me, right there, but I'm not going to go there. Not really necessary for this playthrough. But if you have the special key that you can get for beating this game, you can use it in that room to change your character's outfit on subsequent playthroughs. Whoa! Okay, that was close. Now, the shelves you see here that don't have glass with stuff in them, you can actually push those, and I think one of them has a handgun clip in it, which I'm not going to take right now. And by the way, there's that door right there. I'm going to use it just to use up this key, but I'm not going to go in there because all that's in there right now are a bunch of dogs and some herbs, and I don't really need those at the moment. There's a lot of rooms in this original Resident Evil that you don't technically need to go to. And I feel that in the remake, if I'm not mistaken, they made some of those rooms much more relevant. They used them a little bit more wisely, I think. They're less extraneous. So I'm gathering up my my crests, and it's occurring to me that I don't have the fourth one. Actually, there's a puzzle room right next door where we're going to get it, and it's probably one of the most iconic puzzles in Resident Evil history. Right behind me. There we go, the art gallery. So there's crows here. If you get the puzzle wrong, I'm pretty sure they'll attack you. But there's a bunch of pictures that show the life cycle of someone. And the object is to push the switches below them in order of youngest to oldest. So we had a newborn. Here's an infant. We're going to have a lively boy. Not the young man. Don't do that one yet. You got to go in order. There we go. Lively boy. Then the young man. Then the tired-looking middle-aged man. Because I remember these captions a little too well. Because I played this game so many times. A bold-looking old man. And now the funeral. You're about to hear some cool music that's only in this room. I think it's only in this room. Maybe it's in the basement. I don't know. Either way, I got all my crests, so I'm going to come down this corridor here, watching out for dogs. And painstakingly, one by one, we're going to put them all in place. All right, so in this little shed area, we're going to push over this staircase, and then we're going to push it against that shelf we see high on the opposite wall. And then up here is a crank. Ah, the ubiquitous Resident Evil crank, which you're going to see in the majority of these games, I would guess. And we're outside. Whoa, excuse me. Too many herbs. I think I'm hitting two dogs at the same time. That beep is the radio. So we're going to go up to the radio icon in our inventory.
This is Brad. Stars Alpha Team. Please respond. What the hell? Is nobody out there?
Brad, this is Jill.
This is Brad. Stars Alpha Team. Bravo Team. It doesn't matter. Anybody, answer me. This is
Brad? Brad!
So we know Brad is still flying around in his helicopter, so a little glimmer of hope that there might be a way out of this place. Might as well grab a blue herb and mix it in with the red and the green to make an herb that will not only heal my full health, but also cure any poisoning I might have. So we get a swimming pool here, though they call it a water passage. The hell is a water passage? And we're gonna watch this excruciating crank sequence. But hey, at least we've opened up the water passage. Alright, so you can run across the pool pretty easily, but you're going to want to be careful when you climb up on the other side, and you're going to want to move quickly because we got some little snakes that are going to drop down and try and ambush you. And I do believe they can poison you if you're not careful. I'm pretty sure after we clear out this corridor, that's going to be the last of the dogs for this game. And the reason why I'm collecting so many herbs now is because I know I'm going to have a save point momentarily where I can store them. See, I like the angles. They actually, camera angles actually become a part of the gameplay because they can hide your enemies. You never quite know what's around the next corner. Alright, this is the guardhouse, which I guess is where the researchers stay. I don't know why they call it guardhouse. But we're going to want to push this statue into the middle of the hallway and then push it down the hallway. And when we get to the next corridor here, as you can see, a little intersection, we're going to get it right in the middle of that, and then we're going to get behind it and push it down this hallway. There's a hole in the floor right there. You're going to want to cover it up because an angry plant vine will attack you otherwise. Ah, the comforting serenity of Resident Evil save room music. Different in each game, but among the most iconic musical tracks in the franchise. We're stowing the crank because we don't need it, but we are going to pick up this first aid spray, which I haven't mentioned it already, will heal your full health if you need it. Just like a red and green herb. A normal green herb will just heal a portion of your health. And then we're going to save. Make some room by combining these ammunitions. And just heal up that little bit that the dogs took out of me. You're going to see some red doors at the end of the hall. Do not go in there. All you're going to encounter in there are spiders and some cryptic pool table password to an upcoming puzzle that's kind of optional. We don't need to deal with that puzzle, so we don't have to deal with those spiders. Just ignore that red room. I think in Chris's campaign it might be a little bit more relevant. So you're going to drain the tub, you're going to get the control room key. We'll use that in a little while. First, let's ransack this little dormitory room. Nice, more shotgun ammo, which we need. I'm going to get this book. The red book. Damn, I gotta lay off the coke. That book will come into play a little later, help us solve a puzzle. There's some herbs in that little nook there behind that statue. I'm going to ignore them for now. And I'm going to come into the central room to get that key for the room that I just tried to open. So you can see this door here. That is the door where you kind of need to get that pool table password for. And then there's yet another puzzle inside. We don't need to worry about that right now. But we do need to worry about these bees that are awakened when I pull this key out, so run away from them. Run, 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 run. This is the only point in the game where you're really going to have to deal with bees. Then we're going to use the key to get in here. And discard it, because it's no longer necessary. So this is basically a report just telling you that there's this big-ass plant called Plant 42. It's getting big. It's killing people. It's blocking the door to the room it's in because it's intelligent. And what are we going to do because it's a plant and it's a badass plant? Plant 42, the report has been filed. There's a map on the wall. I'm not going to really be using the maps in this playthrough because I know this layout pretty well, but it's there and you can go to your inventory and check out the map if you need to, and if you ever get lost you can kind of get some idea of where you need to be. That was a waste. A little ammo clip in the sink, but I'm not going to take that. But I am going to push these shelves to reveal a downward stair or ladder. I mean, is that really is that Umbrella's standard for hiding their secrets? Just put a shelf in front of it? So we're in the basement, and I'm going to push these boxes into this little inexplicable patch of water here so I can get across. First two boxes are pretty straightforward, but the third one is a little tricky because you have to get it from down the hall, and you got to be careful that you don't push it in a position that's going to lock it so that you can't push it, because you can't pull in this game, folks. You can only push. I'm going to push it out a little bit. I'm going to get behind it, push it forward just a bit, and now I'm going to get behind it again and push it down towards the other boxes. And I believe if you do put the box in the wrong position, I don't think you're totally, dead in the water. I think if you just leave the area by going up the ladder, when you come back, I think the box is reset. So this is Jill Valentine, 23-year-old STARS member, one of the iconic cast of the Resident Evil franchise with her iconic beret. We've already met Barry Burton, the 38-year-old STARS member and I believe NRA member, who loves his Magnum and saves our ass on occasion. We saw briefly Captain Albert Wester in the beginning. And a couple of other characters in the opening, Chris Redfield and Rebecca Chambers. We're not going to see Rebecca at all on Jill's playthrough. We will see Chris briefly. So I think, you know, if you drain the water from this flooded area and you put some V-Jolt poison, which you can make later on that route, you can weaken the plant. We're not going to do that. But you are going to want to be careful, because something's about to happen. Okay, you got a shark. Ignore the arms door. Go to this door. Use the control room key. Discard the control room key and then enter the room and prepare yourself for flashing red lights. You might want to look away if flashing lights bother you. They certainly bother me, but at least it's brief. I'm going to press this button on the wall to drain the water and hopefully stop this flashing light madness. This whole section in the remake is vastly redesigned and much more involved. There's like a shark, like semi-puzzle, semi-boss fight event. And this door is locked, but like I said before, in this first Resident Evil, the solutions to your problems are usually right next door. Like this button here. Heard a click. Clicky-click. Click-tastic. And then we're going to go into the arms room and get ourselves some much-needed ammunition. It's a little bit hard to see, but there are some shotgun shelves on that back shelf. 2 boxes. There's something flashing over here. All right, good. We got the guardhouse key. Again, you can examine these keys to find out more information. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I am going to take these 2 shotgun cases of shotgun shells. There's a couple of clips behind me, right here. And even though I'm not really using the handgun anymore, I'm going to grab them just because I know that I'm heading directly to the item box and I could stash them in case I need them later. And it's also a good idea to go to the item box because we're about to have another boss fight. So watch out for these flopping sharks. Don't get too close. I think they can still hurt you. We're going to leave presently and we're going to go back upstairs and we are done with this basement area. As much as I'd like to just plow on and fight the next boss, I really should get some more supplies from that item box. But again, the bosses in this game are pretty straightforward, pretty simple, and they go down pretty quickly. Just a few rounds from like a bazooka or a magnum. There's some people who beat this game using just the knife. I can't say I'm one of them. That sounds insane to me, but more power to them. And it's great that people find their own challenges to make these games more interesting, especially in a game like this, which came out in the era before trophies and achievements. You kind of had to come up with your own achievements and feats to accomplish. And it is a little disappointing that this new version of this old game, which is now out on GOG, which is the version I'm using, but also just came out on Steam, they haven't added any achievements or trophies to it, which is a bummer, because I think it would be easy to do, and I think it would add a lot more replay to these classics, and the gamers would really appreciate it. Alright folks, it's just about time to encounter a boss, the aforementioned Plant 42. Make sure you have that red book in your inventory, because that's going to become relevant momentarily. Got some flame rounds. Again, this game is super generous with the ammo and with the herbs. And I don't think there's anything locked in this particular drawer. But we can grab this book. And this is about Vigil, which is a concoction you can put together by opening that locked room with the billiard pool table puzzle. It'll weaken the plant if you put it on the roots we saw downstairs. I don't think you need to do it though with Jill, because this plant dies pretty quick regardless. So I put the red book in the spot that was occupied by that other book, and now I'm going to go in here, and it's plant 42 time. You know, I think I'm going to change my ammo because it's dropping vines, but I think the fire is probably more effective. Either way, a pretty simple boss fight. Of course, it doesn't help that Jill's like, oh, I guess it's totally safe. I might as well walk directly under this giant... Oh my gosh! Not safe. If only Barry would show up with a flamethrower.
What the hell is this?
Barry!
Jill!
The plant just throws her on Barry's about to have a little freak-out session.
You saved me!
Yeah,
That was close. Thanks, Barry.
don't mention it. What a monster. I can't believe... What the hell is this place anyway?
Calm down, Barry. It's okay. So with the plant dead, you're going to check this fireplace, and you're going to get a key, which is going to unlock some of the rooms back in the mansion. Because guess what? We're done with the guardhouse, folks. We're going back to the mansion. With the helmet key.
Okay. I'm gonna stay in the soldiers' area and take a look around. Though I'm sure there are still things in that other mansion as well. Anyway, let's start searching separately.
Split up again.
Okay.
Why does he call it the soldiers area? There's nothing soldiery about this. My guess is because the script probably said guardhouse and the actor forgot and he's like, wait, was it soldiers house? Soldiers area? Sure. Oh, hey, it's Wesker.
Jill, so you're safe.
That's what I was going to say.
So awkward.
Where on earth have you been? You disappeared from the hall all of a
Where
sudden.
have you been?
I'm sorry, but I have my reasons. Perhaps you guys have met them? It was all I could do to protect myself against those strange creatures.
Is that right? Anyway, it's good to see you're safe.
Jill, our first priority is to get out of here.
Yes, you're right.
Now, there are a lot of rooms in that mansion that we can't get into because they're locked up. I have been looking around for clues.
Okay, I'll go to the other house and see if I can find any clues.
Will you do that? I'm counting on you.
And there's the bees he was shooting. I think in the director's cut, it's a big spider. Alright. Save the game, and then we're going to head back to the mansion. And we're going to want to be careful, too, because once we get back to the mansion, we're going to be introduced to another enemy type. Which, while I could be mistaken, I don't know if it's the case in this game, but in the other Resident Evils, I think the hunters we're about to see have a one-hit kill where they could just jump over and decapitate you. I don't know if they have that move in this game, but I don't want to take any chances, so when we encounter the hunters, we're going to be putting them down quickly.
This is Brad. I know you can't answer me, but somehow you
This is Jill. Brad? It's broken.
retrace our footsteps here, head back to the mansion, watch out for dropping snakes, because they're back up in those trees, folks. They have reset. Drop down again. Hiss-tastic. Doesn't hurt to make another mixed red and green herb. Oh boy, folks, here comes the hunter. You always want to hear it scream twice to kind of indicate that it's really dead, if I'm not mistaken. So we've used the key. We've entered another dark room. We don't need the lighter for this room because there's a lamp on the table. I always imagined this was Spencer's office. Spencer, the guy who kind of owns this mansion and is one of the Umbrella Corporation masterminds behind all the deviousness in the Resident Evil franchise, but who knows? We're going to open up the Doom Book 1 and we're going to find a little emblem inside. An eagle medal, which is going to be used later, but for now we can store it. Here's a little note on the wall from Barry. It says, "I'll put some bullets in the back room. Use them in case of trouble. Barry." Once again, folks, thanks for joining me on this 30th anniversary walkthrough of Resident Evil 1. I hope you'll consider subscribing to Unboxer of Worlds and letting me know in the comments what kind of content you'd like to see in the future. Sneak up on this guy. Alright, folks, very quickly we're about to encounter another boss fight. If you use the lighter on that fireplace, you can kind of get another map, I think, from that. Not really necessary. But it is necessary that we prepare ourselves for the return of the snake. Yarn 2.0. And this time, he's pissed enough to bite holes in the floor. And look at that, the boss fight is over. Like I said, this game is wonderfully easy. A great starting point for anyone who's new to Resident Evil, but also anyone who's new to these fixed camera angles and tank controls, because the game is very lenient
Jill,
on you.
Have you found anything interesting?
Yes, but I can't see very well.
How about going down to check by yourself? I have a rope here.
Oh, do you? Well, then I'll try to go down using the rope.
Wait.
Wait. Interesting little bit of lore I'll get into about the remake as Jill goes down. In the remake, they introduced... Well, I'll let you get through this first.
Hey, what's going on?
Now I've done it. Sorry, Jill. Wait. I'll go and get another rope.
So in the remake...
Barry? Barry?
In the remake, they introduced a character called Lisa Trevor, who's this twisted monster with a really dark backstory. And while she's not in this version of the game, and you'll notice this gravestone here says Full Metal Prison, but in the Nintendo DS version of this original Resident Evil, they changed that gravestone encryption, I believe, to say Lisa Trevor, making a link between this old school Resident Evil and the remake.
Hey! Are you there, Jill? Grab the rope! I'm sorry, Jill.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Sorry. I was really careless.
Are you okay, Barry? Maybe you're getting tired.
No, I'm all right. Don't worry. Jill, I found something.
You don't have to memorize this pass number, folks. When it becomes relevant, you'll kind of just use it automatically.
Thank you. I'll take this then.
There's a part, a couple times where Jill goes, "Hey, what's going on?" And it reminds me of a time when I was in the car with my mom and we bought some fast food. And when she wasn't looking, I hid her fast food. And then when she turned to grab it, she was confused at where it went. And she was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it was kind of cute. I love my mom. Whoa. Man, he sounded angry. So we got some interesting music in this basement, but there was yet another version of the original Resident Evil that was released on the PlayStation after the original version. After the director's cut version, there was the DualShock version, where in addition to adding DualShock vibration and controls, I believe, they also added a new soundtrack featuring an orchestra, if I'm not mistaken. And that sounds cool, but it wasn't that good. The tunes were not as iconic as they are in this original game. Some of them were actually quite bad, including the tune, I believe, for this basement area, or part of the basement, which people have compared to a group of clowns farting. Creepy scene coming up here. What could it be? It's just a zombie. Take him out. There's another zombie on the floor over here. We can take him out too. And then we're going to go up this rickety-looking elevator. Surprised he went down with that one shot, kind of from a distance. So we're going to enter a library here. And there's going to be, after I unlock this little desk here, you're going to see a bookcase that you can push. I'm not going to do it here to save time because it's not really necessary. It's right there. But you get a little room, and I think there might be some ammo in there. and there's a cool window overlooking a helipad outside. The DS version added a very cool touchscreen puzzle to that area, I think, if I remember correctly. Scrapbook. Raccoon Times. Animal attack? Woman mutilated. Around 10 p.m., a 20-year-old woman's body was found by a passerby on the left bank of Marble River in the Cider district of Raccoon City. Police assume it to be a grizzly or other animal's doing because of the teeth marks along her mutilated arms and left foot that show considerable power. She was wearing a hiking boot, so we think she fell in the river. They're hurrying to identify this woman. Some people claim they see monsters in the Arklay Mountains. The monsters are supposedly about the same size as a large dog and usually run in a pack, as wolves do. It's interesting, this is from 1998, but the game came out in 1996. So at the time it was like, this was the future. They say don't go into the woods, they're dangerous, but hey, if you're looking for adventure, check it out. You want to try? That is terrible advice. Due to successive disasters in the Arklay Mountains, the city authorities have decided to block the road. At the same time, Raccoon police intend to send stars in to search for people. They expect great difficulty because of the vast size of the Arklay Mountains and the primeval forest that covers the area. That kind of leads right up to the events of this game. Seeing areas like the Cider District and the Marble River, I think. I'm pretty sure you go back to Raccoon City in Resident Evil Requiem, which just came out. It'd be cool if some of those areas finally make an appearance, because I don't think they have before. But I have not gotten that far in my playthrough of Resident Evil Requiem yet. I'm still in the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center. But let me know if you want to see me play through that one. So we turned on this light in the corner. It's kind of telling us, hey, this is where you can slide the statue. And this is kind of optional to do this, but in doing so you get access, slide it a little more I guess, you get access to something in this room called a MO disc, or MO disc, I don't know how it's pronounced. But these discs, they're optional, but they are the key to getting the good ending in this game. There's many endings you can get in Resident Evil, folks. And the only difference really is how many of your friends survive, and whether or not the mansion is still standing at the end. But if you want that good ending, you gotta get these MO discs. So remember, one of them's in the library. 2 more. There's a lot of stuff in this room in front of me, but I gotta make some room for it. Wonderful, the door's locked. Which means backtracking. Oh! He was eating his buddy who wasn't even dead. In some games you could kick the zombie's head off and if they bite you on the foot, sometimes you could just stomp on their head. Some games it's censored, some games it's fully graphic, like it was in this one. So I'm going to go up the stairway of that zombie came down. I'm going to want to be careful because there's hunters in this hall. Took them both out, swiped them clean, as Mike from the Resident Evil 4 helicopter scene would say. If you couldn't tell, folks, I love this franchise. I've had a lot of favorite gaming franchises in my life. There was a time when I loved Mortal Kombat the most. My parents even got me a Mortal Kombat 1 arcade when I was a kid, which was awesome. The first Mortal Kombat was my favorite Mortal Kombat for a long time. But after Mortal Kombat, my favorite series was Doom for a long time. I still love the shit out of Doom. But then kind of around the same time, I discovered both Resident Evil and Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy became my favorite franchise for many years, but then I kind of drifted away from that franchise. And the one that remains, my favorite franchise right now to this day, is Resident Evil. And the last Final Fantasy I ever played all the way through was FF12. Alright, there's a folder on the table. I'm going to try my best to do a Wesker impersonation when I read it. I don't know if he wrote it, but it sounds like the kind of thing he would write. Chris. Orders. To the head of the security department. X day is approaching. Complete the following orders within the week. Lure the members of STARS into the lab and have them fight with the BOW in order to obtain data of actual battles. Collect 2 embryos per BOW type. Destroy the Arclay lab, including all researchers and lab animals, in a manner which will seem accidental. White Umbrella. I probably should have practiced that before I did it. I swear I can do a better Wesker voice. The newer Wesker, not the one from this game. So you turn the lights off, you slide the stairs, and up top you're going to find a red gem. Are you going to try and take out the eyeball? Yes, you didn't even have to try. Just pop right out. It's a red jewel. Guess where we're going to use that? Remember that tagger that has a red eye and a blue eye? Well, guess what? We've got the red eye. We're going to stick it in there. We're going to get a tagger goodie, folks. A really good goodie, too. You don't want to miss this one. I love how the hunters turn yellow when you hit them with those acid rounds. I don't know if they do that with the other rounds. Boom! It pops out like a jump scare. I kind of knew he was going to be there, though. Alright, we're going to put the red gem in, or jewel, and check out what we're going to get, folks. Oh yeah, a cult python. It's a magnum, folks. This is one of the most powerful guns in the game. Pretty iconic, too. I'm pretty sure it's a real-world weapon. I know there was a time when the Resident Evil games, there have been times when they've had real-world weapon names in their games, and there have been other times where they've had, like, more generic weapon names, but you kind of know what weapon it was supposed to be. I don't know if that was a rights issue or whatnot. In any event, I'm making some room, because we're going to go get to that one door that I couldn't access before. Remember that code Barry gave us, and I said you don't have to worry about remembering it? That's for this door. You just automatically enter it, you can go in, and hey, look, we're back here. So I'm going to grab stuff from this room. some grenade rounds and a battery, and then we're going to leave the mansion behind for the last time and move to the next phase of the game. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite Resident Evil game? Is it one of these original ones, 1, 2, or 3? Is it one of the remakes? Or is it one of the new era games like Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Village, or even the newest, Requiem? While you're at it, let me know in the comments who your favorite Resident Evil character is. I know Leon has always been super popular, and certainly now that he's in Resident Evil Requiem. Are there any characters you're just dying to see come back? Like I know Jill hasn't been in one of these games in a while, if you don't count the remake of Part 3. Remember the dogs? Now we got spiders. Yeah, I'm just going to run right past them. So you notice I'm taking out the crank, because we are going to need that again. Glad that guy didn't want to kill me there. Alright, so we're going to cut through the pool, dodging snakes along the way. Head down here. And there's going to be a little nook in the corner here where we can put the battery. Right there. And now we can ride this elevator back up, and we don't need to worry about the pool anymore, because now we have this direct elevator we can take right down. A little map, going to grab it for the heck of it, even though I don't really need it. And we're going to visit the pool. Actually, we do need it one last time. We're going to go there with the crank, and we're going to crank it again to refill it with the water that will unblock an area we were just in, so that we can access the underground. This area, I think, you know, if you don't know the game, it can be a little confusing, this whole outdoor area. So now I'm going to ride down that elevator. And an area that could not be accessed earlier, even though I don't think we looked at it earlier, is now accessible. Alright, we're in the underground, which looks much more It looks way better in this classic Rebirth mod than it did in the original. I mean, it still looks just like it did, but it's clearer now, and it doesn't just look like a greenish-gray mess of low-resolution textures.
Oh, Jill, what good timing. A moment ago, I heard someone's voice coming from this hole. Let's go together since it's dark and we can't see very well.
All right, you got a choice to make, and I believe these choices will impact whether or not Barry survives the game. I want the good ending. I want him to live, so I think we're going to be nice to him.
Let's go.
I'm going to say yes.
Then I'm gonna cover you. Let's hurry.
But there's another choice. Do I want...
Hey, are you all right? I can go first if you want me to.
And she's starting not to trust him. I don't want him to go first. I'm going to go first. He can cover me, so I'm going to click no on this one. So for the good ending,
Let's
first
go,
question,
Barry.
yes.
I'm depending on you.
Second question, no. And by the way, folks, just be thankful that there's no Lisa Trevor in this original version of Resident Evil 1. Because in the remake, she haunts these underground passages, and let me tell you, man, it is scary dealing with her. Oh. Thank you, Barry. I'm not sure what would have happened there if I'd made a different choice earlier. Maybe Barry would have died there. I don't know.
Is that Jill?
Is that voice Enrico's?
Yeah?
You're alive.
Yeah.
Wait there! Are you with anybody, Jill?
What? Oh, yes.
Enrico!
So, Barry and Jill together.
Are you all right, Enrico?
The stars are doomed. Someone is a traitor. Everything was plotted from the start by Umbrella.
Enrico!
You know, maybe look behind you and make sure you're not going to get shot. Oh, there she goes. Cool. Barry's investigating. You do that, Barry. Hey, folks, another crank. But this crank is different. If you examine the cranks, you'll see that this one has a hex-shaped end, making it a hexagonal crank, whereas the other one is a square crank. Why not? I'll save my game. Hey, we're going to use that new hexagonal crank. Turn the whole room around. They probably could have sped this up a little bit. There's one really insufferable crank coming up where you have to do the same thing like 3 times in a row. All right, right here is a good reason why you want to save your game in this section. This Boulder Indiana Jones bit could really ruin your day if you don't move just right and get killed by this boulder. Now, if Chris from RE5 were here, he would just punch that boulder into oblivion. He's tapping that auto-aim button. Until it aims... Ooh, he jumped right over my shot. But I got him. I think this section could have used another item box. Because if... Uh-oh, big spider. Don't stick around after you kill him, because little spiders appear. And I just walked away. If you walk away when the spiders appear and come back, they're gone. So now we got to get through this. We need something to cut it with. I also need inventory space. Luckily, I'm in danger, so I can use this first aid spray. Yeah. Like I said, they could have used another item box in the start of this area, maybe right near that typewriter to help, because if you were stuck on inventory space, you might have to go all the way back to the mansion, and that would kind of be a bummer. I think in, I think there's a pickaxe item that you can only find by going through, like, the stuff that was cut out of this game. I was always intrigued by that pickaxe. What was it for? And I think some people have posited that maybe it was for cutting through those spider webs just now instead of the knife. I don't know. Was it meant to be a weapon? There was also another kind of magnum round called dum-dum rounds, I believe, which, on the PlayStation version you could have found with a Game Shark. Always wondered what that cut stuff was for. Alright. So, little snakes. Don't want to deal with them. Alright, should be able to grab those flame rounds now. Sometimes when I play these games, I take time to make my inventory super neat. I'll have all the weapons in one section, all the ammo in one section, all the healing items in another, all the key items in another. It's a little tricky to stay on top of, but it's a fun little mini meta game within the game. But it does eat up time, so like I said, we're trying to beat this game in under 3 hours to win that unlimited ammo Ingram weapon for Jill on subsequent playthroughs. So I'm going to not be taking the time to do all that right now. Alright, this is that insufferable crank section. Yes, there is another boulder there. So we have to do it a total of 3 times. Again, I would strongly recommend saving before both of these boulder sections, because if you make a wrong move, you could get killed by that boulder, and it's no fun. And there's the second ammo disc hidden behind it, which is important for getting the good ending. Unlike the other boulder, you can't go around that one. So, instead we're going to come into this room. There's another little puzzle here. So you see this section of wall slides out with the crank. And what we're going to do, and I really shouldn't have made that section of wall come out, but we're going to, before we make that section of wall pop out, we're going to move this statue in front of it. And then we're going to use the crank. To push that into a more maneuverable position, we're going to use the crank one last time to push the wall back and give us room to get around the statue. And then we're going to push the statue onto this little square, lightly colored square over here. Push it right on there, opening a little compartment. The Doom book too. And it's interesting, if you notice in the corner right behind the statue, there's like what appears to be another crank sticking out of the wall. You could just barely see in front of Jill there. I don't know if that's just like an accidental artifact that got left in, or if that was actually meant to be there for some reason. I don't know. I wonder, could it be something that was added by mistake when they made this like HD mod? Or was it just something that was always there, but the original versions of this game were so grainy on the old PlayStation that we never noticed it? Don't know. We don't need any cranks anymore, which is good. And we can even put the MO disc away because we're not going to need that for a little while. We will examine this book to get another medal out of it, this time a wolf medal to go with our eagle medal. And we're about ready now to leave the underground. Dodging snakes, we're going to leave the underground and head to the final area of Resident Evil, the laboratory. So we're going to ride this lift up, and we're going to get into that helicopter landing area, heliport, that I mentioned earlier. Don't bother trying to leave through those doors, by the way. They're welded shut. They will do you no good. And you're going to see that there's a recess with a picture of a wolf. Guess what we're going to put in there? The wolf medal. Come around the back, there's one with a picture of an eagle. And guess what? We're going to put the eagle medal in this one. And now we can make our descent. We are in the lab. Yeah, I think some shotgun shells will come in handy. I don't know if these zombies are a little stronger later in the game, because it's weird that one took 2 shotgun blasts. Come over here, and hey, guess what? The third and final MO, or MO disc, which will be coming in handy in a little bit. You're going to see some very creepy zombies down here, folks. Along with some creepy music. And there's going to be, in this room here, a file which is going to name drop a character who becomes very famous in later Resident Evils. You can move this over if you want to. There's a little switch here that'll turn off the lights, and then you could kind of look at this picture in the back, and you could use those words to try and help you decode this password later, but I remember the password, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just tell you what it is when the time comes. Here's that file, the researcher's letter. Dear Ada. Ada, by the time you read this, I'll be something different. Today's test turned out to be positive, just as I expected. Ada, you're not infected, and I hope you never will be. In case you're the last one left, take the material in the visual data room and go to the power room to operate the triggering system before you escape and make this public. If everything is in order, all the locks will be opened by the security system. You can access the system if you log in with my name and your name. And then there's another password, the one I know about, which I'll tell you later. And this is my last hope. If you find me completely changed, please kill me yourself. Yours, John. John Ada, as in Ada Wong, from all the Leon Resident Evil games, or at least almost all of them. I don't know if she's in Requiem. I wonder if they knew when they made this game that Ada was going to be an important character in later entries, or if that was something they didn't know until later. Those creepy-ass zombies. Lots of locked doors. Oh, the echo on their voices is so creepy. Oh. Okay. Computer crashed. So, good thing we saved, right? This is why we save. But I'm all the way back. All the way back to my last save, which was in the underground, unfortunately. Good thing I saved. I'm not going to make you watch my entry to the lab again. I'm going to skip ahead until I'm right back where I left off before my computer crashed, and I'll catch up with you then. And look at that, through the magic of editing, I'm back in the room I would have been right before the crash, the room I was about to enter when my computer crashed. So I grabbed that little slide disc from the floor, and there's a computer here, a very 90s computer. And we're going to unlock some doors by inputting some passwords. So I'm going to use the name John, that researcher, to get in, which I'm going to spell incorrectly. Luckily, there's a backspace key, so John. And the password is Ada. I think this was the wrong one to choose. Alright, so the password for this one is MOLE. M-O-L-E. No need to decode the code. You got me, Unboxer of Worlds, revealing the secrets. Booyah. That's what that hand gesture said, folks. Booyah. Alright, now we'll open the other one. Make sure you open both B2 and B3. Booyah! Subscribe to Unboxer of Worlds. Follow me on social media, which I barely update because I'm old. There was another room in here. I'm going to just check it out. Ugh. Oh, those echoey moans are so creepy. Facts. Special Committee on Disasters, Raccoon Special Research Department. This is confidential and must be destroyed as soon as it is understood. Regarding the T-virus outbreak, which recently occurred, this committee conducted a field survey. According to that survey results, estimates on the amount of damage caused by the accident are considerably greater than expected. It's thought that more than half the researchers died after exposure to the T-virus. The body count will most likely increase since nearly all the survivors now show symptoms peculiar to the T-virus. The security system is still operational, however, our special security guard squad has been nearly destroyed. because that research information considered by our company to be top secret has been made available to outsiders. Countermeasures should be taken as soon as possible. Finally, many of the subjects from the experiment, we believe that some researchers were killed by these subjects and their bodies were mutilated. By curious coincidence, though, these events are proof of the success of our research. However, there's also a very high risk that this news may be leaked to the press if we don't act immediately. The condition is very serious. Our operation to cover up the situation is difficult to attain. However, we hope the problem will be resolved quickly. We are especially concerned that the state police and STARS are intervening too quickly. We need to act on this situation as well. $19.98. Oh, and guess what? We got our first MoDisc reader, a passcode output machine. You're going to put the MoDisc or MO-Disc in here and get one of 3 passcodes needed to unlock a cell. Passage from Genesis there, 2216. I don't know if that's an accurate passage. And it's interesting, a lot of the MoDiscs and the wolf and eagle metal that you see in this game, I believe they reappear in Resident Evil 2. It might be the same, like, I think in story it's supposed to be the same wolf disc and eagle metal, wolf metal and eagle metal, I don't know. Probably a different MO disc though. Alright, we're going to go upstairs to the visual data room. By the way, folks, these zombies down here, even if you kill them, they have a nasty tendency to reappear. It's a projector. Let's use our slides. So, we're going to see some of the many monsters we've been fighting here, like the Cerberus and the Neptune and the Hunter and the star of the show, the Tyrant. The T-002. The Tyrant is another fixture of this franchise. They're going to haunt you in many games to come. One of them even is Mr. X, who we'll encounter in RE2. And wait for it, folks. Why does that guy in the corner look just like Captain Albert Wesker? Surely it must be a coincidence. So we're going to look at this little grate over here. And if you're curious about why there's so many tricks and secrets, certainly in the mansion area of this game, a lot of that is delved into in the remake, and you'll find these files belonging to a guy named George Trevor, who is the architect who designed the Spencer Mansion. It did not end well for him or his family, certainly not for his daughter Lisa, but those are some documents that are only in the remake that certainly deepen the disturbing lure of Resident Evil. Let's use the Magnum. That's satisfying. Even from a distance. Yeah, we're definitely going to save. I don't want my computer crashing again. I'll tell you, man, my computer crashes like crazy when playing Resident Evil Requiem. I keep getting these, I don't know, an unhandled exception, maybe? I don't know. It's making it very difficult to progress. Especially since I chose the option to use the ink ribbon saves in that game. I might have to rethink that decision. There's a puzzle in this room, a dangerous one if you're not careful. You have to move these boxes, and you have to cover up the grates in the floor, or else there's more poison gas. pretty sure that gas can kill you if you're not careful. It's not quite as straightforward here, moving these boxes. You do have to kind of... You gotta have to get them just right, and you gotta kind of, like, negotiate that staircase in the middle a little bit, which can get in the way. Do not push it onto that button. Not yet. I'll tell you, like, I haven't... You know, I made... When I got this game on GOG, I did one playthrough of it somewhat recently. But before that, I hadn't played this original version probably in like 10 years. So this is like my second playthrough probably in 10 years, and I gotta tell you, it came back to me so quick. Like, I didn't have to use a guide or anything. I didn't have to get used to the tank controls again. Like, it all just came back. I'm gonna have to reposition this ladder. You know, you'll know that you got it right when you hear a little click, and hopefully we won't see gas rushing out. There's the click, no gas, we're good. By the way, make sure you have another Mo disc in your inventory before you come in here. Alright, 2 of 3. One more left. Unfortunately, that one more is, it's in a pretty dangerous area. A boiler room of sorts, where we have these new enemies called, I think they're called chimeras, maybe, that we have to deal with. So I'm definitely going to save before going in there. I got the bazooka or grenade gun equipped, but this is not the weapon to use on these guys. You're going to want to use the magnum. See, look how I missed him. I missed him again. I missed him with the magnum before. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just wasting ammo. But I got him. I got him. Power panel. Some areas do not have power. Will you activate the blacked out areas? Yes. See if I can get this guy better. Boom! Maggots flying everywhere. Hey, there's the final passcode output machine. Make sure you have your last Mo disc, folks. By the way, is it Mo disc or MO disc? What does that even mean? Let me know in the comments, folks. Subscribe to Unboxer of Worlds. No Mo disc required. I made a little mistake here. I should have kept going because what is it? There's like a computer I have to access a little later to turn on a elevator that's depowered, and I totally missed it, so I'm gonna have to go back. Pretty sure I've killed these zombies before, yet they keep coming back. Why does it sound like there's rapid footsteps? I'm gonna guess it's just because there's like a big group over there and they're all walking at the same time. So now we're gonna enter the passcodes we got, all 3 of them. It opens the door. What's gonna be in here? This is a completely optional area, but you're gonna do this if you want the good ending, and that's what I'm going for.
Jill? Is that you, Jill?
Oh, Chris, you're alive!
Hey, it's Chris.
Of course. Damn it, we're in quite a predicament, Jill.
I know, Chris. Anyway, I have to open this room. It doesn't work. Well,
You know,
Chris,
if
I'll
Chris
be
could
sure to
punch
come
the
back
shit
and
out
help
of a
you soon.
boulder in RE5,
Will you wait here?
you'd think he
Thanks.
could
I'll be waiting here for you.
punch that door off its hinges. Everyone's so polite in this game. He's like, thanks, I'm going to wait here. So don't forget about him, folks. We're going to have to go back and grab him before we hand the zombies back. Grab him before we leave. The reason I'm taking out some extra healing items is because we're almost at another boss fight. Another super quick, easy one. So I'm going to mix those into a twofer, use them because I'm in caution. Should bring me up to fine. Excuse me. So here's that elevator, and there's no reaction because I didn't go far enough to turn the power on. So, gotta go back to the boiler room. When I was a kid in the 90s playing this for the first time, I had a very good friend who lived up the street who had a PlayStation before me. And he was obsessed with this game, and he would record his playthroughs on VHS tapes. Kind of precursor to what we're doing now with this streaming and whatnot and online recording. But he would record these, and we'd watch his playthroughs. It was really cool. He was so into it. That's the triggering system activator. We don't need to worry about that. That triggers the self-destruct. Whoops, did I just give you a spoiler? Alright, now the power is on. So we're going to head back to that elevator. And I'll save because I don't want to have to run in there again if I get killed. Again, folks, let me know if you want to see me play through another Resident Evil game, or if you want to see me try and do Chris's run. Like, I haven't done Chris's run in like a decade. I might have gone through his run all of 2 times in my whole life.
Jill!
There's my trusted companion, Barry.
Jill! You're here too.
Yes, you're here too?
Hey, I'm here too.
Look, I lost my way.
Let's
No
get
shit,
going.
Barry. More ways than one. We still love you, though. All right, folks. There's about to be a big narrative dump. All the secrets are going to be revealed, so I'm going to sit back and let you listen to it.
Wesker,
You did a fine job, Barry.
just as I thought.
I think you should stay away from Barry, Jill. I hear that his wife and 2 daughters will be in danger if he doesn't do everything I tell him to.
You are so cruel.
Well, you don't have to worry about anything, because you'll be free from this world very soon, Jill.
Why do you have to destroy stars?
That's Umbrella's intention. This laboratory has been engaging in dangerous experiments, and recently an accident has occurred. Anyway, this disaster cannot be made public.
That's why having stars nosing about is so inconvenient. So you're a slave of Umbrella now, along with these virus monsters.
I think you misunderstand me, Jill. To me, the monsters you mention mean nothing. I'm going to burn all of them together with this entire laboratory. I must complete my mission as ordered by Umbrella. Barry, go up on the ground and wait there.
Barry!
Barry's such a fool. He'll be under the control of Umbrella forever.
How come both Umbrella and you can intimidate him by taking his family as hostages?
Umbrella? Well, I intimidated him, but it had nothing to do with Umbrella. I just used him for my personal purposes, though both you and Barry seem to think I was following orders from Umbrella.
So you're planning something else?
If you succeeded in developing the world's most powerful biological weapon, what would you do? What if you were in charge?
You must stop this now.
You're a brave girl. But if I were you, I wouldn't give up such a big discovery. You guys are idiots. No one understands its real value.
So you're going to steal all the research?
Better yet, I'm going to show you the tyrant.
Oh! Yeah! Barry's back, baby.
Sorry, Jill.
How is your family?
I was listening to what you and Wesker were talking about. I wish I realized it earlier. I thought it must have something to do with Umbrella, you know. So it's all been masterminded by him.
But it's good that you know that now. Anyway, let's get out of this house first.
Jill!
Yes, what?
Do you have any idea what Wesker was going to show you at the back of this place?
Well, he was talking about the world's most powerful biological weapon, called Tyrant or something, I think.
Do you think we could see Tyrant now?
Why?
Barry, you're so optimistic.
Jill, what does that
It would
reaction
look
even
bad
mean?
for stars if we let such a dangerous creature run loose.
Maybe you're right. Let's go then.
Almost as bad as his decision is continually splitting up.
Can a creature like this really be the ultimate biological weapon?
I don't know, Jill, you better hope we don't accidentally
Wesker is
wake it
a
up.
Crazy man.
Tyrant is not completely developed.
But we can't let it live. That must be the computer for monitoring this creature.
There's more wonderful decision making. At this point, as soon as I saw that water draining, I'd be like, yeah, I'm leaving. Watch Barry's aim here. His aim is hilarious.
Damn you!
What is that, Barry? Alright, get ready for a quick, underwhelming boss fight.
What it does.
And that's that. And if I was going for the bad ending, that would be the last boss fight of the game.
Barry? Barry!
Hey, he's fine.
You're alive!
I wish they made more use of Barry in the later games.
I'm really embarrassed. I was clumsy.
Let's get going.
Barry has a cameo in the end of Resident Evil 3, the original, if you get the good ending. And then he shares a game with Claire, Resident Evil Revelations 2, which is actually one of my favorite Resident Evil games. Kind of a sleeper hit. Don't sleep on Revelations 2, folks. Especially if you want to see Barry back in action and play as him. I really hope he comes back in another game. And there's rumors that Resident Evil 1 is going to get yet another remake, so it'll be cool to see all these characters in the RE engine.
What happened to Wesker?
The triggering system has now been activated. All researchers and guards should take cover
Wesker
immediately.
must have set it off.
Unlock
There's not
all
much time left for us.
activation.
I'll give you an interesting little tidbit. When I was younger and applying to college, I mentioned before I played the piano, I found out that on the PC version of this game, all the background music were just stored as like WAV files in a folder, and you could replace them. So I wrote an all-new score for this entire game. Like, I wrote all new music for Resident Evil 1, and I replaced the old files with my files so you could play the game with my soundtrack. And I was going to use it as, like, you know, part of my college entry, like, materials, like, to submit with my application, like, hey, check out this game I rescored. But I never did it. I didn't have the nerve. But you better believe, if I ever do learn to make a video game one day, I will be doing the soundtrack. By the way, let me know if you stuck around in the video long enough to hear that little bit of Unboxer of Worlds of Lore I just gave you. And I really appreciate it if you do stick around. So watch out for these dudes. And again, don't leave without getting Chris. To get the good ending, you want Chris and Barry to survive and join you.
Oh, Jill!
Sorry for keeping you waiting.
So everything is done?
Well, almost, yes. Now let's go.
The cool thing is, all the actors who were in the live-action cutscenes at the opening and ending of this game, they've all been found and located. It took years, but we finally found out, the fandom has found out who they are, and now the actors who played like Jill and Barry and Chris and Rebecca and Wesker, they're kind of having like a resurgence of fame and finally being appreciated by the fandom. And so they're doing appearances at conventions. They're even doing like Resident Evil films of their own, like short little, you know, fan films. I don't mean to say little as a derogatory, but they're really cool.
Let's go!
And even though he's older, the guy who played Barry still looks just like Barry. Same with Chris and Wesker. Alright, so you're going to want to make sure that you have some ammo with you and maybe some healing items, because that when you get the good ending, there is one more boss fight, and it is pretty challenging. Or at least it has the potential to be. Cool if you just- oh.
Running out of fuel. If there is anyone alive, contact me now, okay? This is...
When he says, "This is Brad" on the radio, when I was young, I always used to think his name was Beretta, because it sounds kind of like he says, "This is Beretta." Alright, gotta get this battery. I think it's kind of silly that you have to pick up a battery here when you're just going to put it in 2 steps later here. You know, that would just unnecessarily make you have to backtrack if your inventory didn't have space.
3 minutes until explosion.
Alright folks, 3 minutes. Win or lose, there's 3 minutes left.
Oh no! You must be kidding! After you've come all
to play nice.
Okay, I leave it up to you. See you again at the heliport.
All researchers and guards should take cover immediately. Unlock all doors activation.
And again, I say these battles are challenging. I mean, they're not so bad. They're certainly not like the later battles in other Resident Evil games. But I mean, for a newcomer, they could have a little bit of a challenge if you're not super familiar with, you know, certainly how to control the game. But again, you know, if you've never played a tank controls fixed camera angles Resident Evil, this is a good one to start with because I feel it is very generous with the stuff it gives you, ammo-wise, health-wise, and the boss battles aren't that tough. Boy. Here's Tyrant. He's not happy, folks. So basically, just run away from him, dodge him, hit him as much as you can. I don't know if this is based on the countdown having to get to a certain point, or if you have to do a certain amount of damage to him, but just survive and keep hitting him until Brad gives you a little something special.
Coming! Jill! Kill that monster! You're our Amazon, Jill!
It sounds like he just said, "You're our Amazon, Jill." Is that right? Like, what a weird thing to say. Alright, he's right near me. Will I be able to hit him without getting messed up? I have 4 shots and 4 chances. Here we go. And got him. Boom. All those charred body parts. Which I think is just a texture error. Because I remember, I think on the PlayStation version, you could see the actual textures and you could see his mouth still like opening and closing a bit. Maybe. So you're going to see the helicopter land. If I'm not mistaken, this scene is a little extended on this version. I think it maybe it's a few frames shorter in the original PlayStation cutscene for some reason. I could be wrong about that. And that's it, folks. We got the good ending. Chris, Jill, Barry, and Brad. All safe and sound going home. The mansion's going to blow up behind us. If you get the bad ending, it doesn't do this. Ooh. One of the more appropriate booms I've said in my videos. There's Barry being Barry. Jill's got very nice eyebrows. And I think you even get a different version of the credits when you get the good ending. I know in the bad one where the when the place doesn't explode, you know, I think you see the shadow of Tyrant like walking out to kind of show that he's still alive and that there's a different ending you can get. Look how they accredited people there. Jill Valentine is just Inez, Barry Burton, Gregory, no last names. And I've always wondered, are the people who played these characters in the live-action cutscenes the same people who did the voiceover for them? I'm not sure. It sounds like the kind of thing I could probably find out pretty easily. Anyway, folks, though, that's it. That's Resident Evil 1 with the HD Rebirth mod on the PC. This is the GOG version. I thank you for watching it. I hope I helped you finish it. And again, if I beat it in under 3 hours, I should get the Infinite Ingram, which is a submachine gun for Jill, exclusive to the PC version. And I think Chris has his own Infinite machine gun if you beat the game with him in under 3 hours. To get the rocket launcher, I think I have to beat... I could be wrong. I think I have to beat the game without saving, and I'm a little afraid to do that because my computer could crash and ruin the whole thing. But maybe I'll try it with the Infinite Ingram. And just rush through as fast as I can. Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed the video, check out my other videos, unboxings, reviews, puppy videos. I have some other Resident Evil playthroughs of Resident Evil 4. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll subscribe to Unboxer of Worlds. I hope you'll follow me on social media. And check out more videos in the future. Hit that bell icon. Is that a thing? Is that how you get notified of new videos? I've been doing this for years. I still don't feel like I know what the hell I'm doing with YouTube. It's also a cool little exclusive song here you get for the good ending. I think it's called Still Dawn. All right, let's find out how long it took me to beat the game. Did I do it in under 3 hours? Nice picture of Jill. 155. That cannot possibly be true. Like, this video is almost 2.5 hours long. I mean, I know I made some goof-ups along the way, but so I don't know if the game is it not counting cutscenes? I don't know. 155, though. I'll take it. So we should... Will it tell us we got the gun? All right, well, there's the special key. You get that in your next playthrough. You can find some clothes in the closet. There might even be like an exclusive outfit or two for the PC version. I don't know. But you'll definitely want to save the game.
Resident Evil.
And when you start your next game, you'll want to load it from this new file.
A dining room.
And I'll do that right now and just show you the Ingram in the inventory. There it is, the unlimited Ingram, which I believe is a submachine gun. Let's check it out. Check it out. Machine gun with no textures on it in Resident Evil 1. Again, an exclusive to the PC version. Thanks, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll stay tuned for more Unboxer of Worlds videos. And again, a happy 30th anniversary to Resident Evil, and hopefully many more to come. I'll catch you later.
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...